Hello, everyone, and welcome to the June 8th SIG Contributor Experience meeting. I am your host today, Bob, one of the co-chairs, also known as Mr. Bobby Tables. As a general reminder, these calls are recorded and we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which essentially boils down to please be excellent to each other. If you could, please put your name in the notes, and if anyone is available to be a note taker, that would be super awesome. Sorry about that.
I can pick up notes in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Somebody else can do it until then.
I got it.
Cool.
I
Thank
can
you.
do 10 minutes.
To kick things off, still don't know the status of office hours transitioning, but we'll pop right over to the community meeting. Laura.
If I can find my unmute button, that would be a good start. So we did not have the May community meeting. I don't remember if we even had a meeting in May at all for this group. Feels like
We did at the beginning of the month.
Okay, yeah, and I was out for that, so that's why I can't remember anything. Yes, so we did not have a meeting in May, and then June is coming up. I have not had anyone volunteer any topics lately, so I'm probably going to go back and start digging. Sorry.
Is that going to be during Open Source Summit?
That's a great question.
It's the week of the 19th.
It is, and
Yeah.
I have that on my calendar. Let me double check.
Yes, it is the week of Open Source.
Yes.
TLDR, you will not be hosting it.
I will not be hosting it because I will be at Open Source Summit doing all kinds of things.
I will also be
Okay,
there.
well, I am not at Open Source Summit, so I can be fallback host, but it'd be better to find a new host.
Yeah,
I will also not be at the summit.
I did have
there you
a
go.
volunteer to help host in a DM, so I probably will reach out to that person and have them host if they're still available to do it. But if
Perfect.
people can be ushers and recorders, just to make sure, and anyone feeling like being a note taker would probably be helpful. But I think the bigger thing right now is I don't know if there's any topics because we have the freeze and everything going on. Just no one's volunteered anything, so I'm going to start poking the dragon around.
Yeah,
But if there is
I
anything that
think-
people know of,
I think most people were so focused on KubeCon that like,
basically, yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
The
since
last
we've-
KubeCon and this KubeCon. Yeah. The
Right.
week-
Both.
Yeah, since we've got Arnaud on the line here, Arnaud, do you think you could do a brief segment about what we're doing with registries?
In which context?
The image
So-
registries
for this call
For
or
this is
the
for the
community?
for the
monthly
community meeting. For the community
It's
meeting.
just kind of you show up, give a rough overview of the topic and let people talk about it.
I'm not sure I will be available at that time. I think I have
Okay.
something in conflict because like this is my first month at my new job. I have too many meetings I need to go to.
Okay.
Another feeling it's
Di-
okay.
Dims,
I
Ben.
will
is
talk
it-
to James or Ben or
Okay.
Eddie. I think we have I think Ben or Eddie can give that resume
Okay.
or James. I will talk to them. We
Okay,
we have a meeting tonight, so I will add the subject for the meeting.
If you would, that would be amazing. They can just DM me and say, yes, I will happily talk about said topic. And I can lead
Okay.
them from there. That would be awesome. If they're actually, also not going to be at Open Source Summit, like,
I don't know if Dims. I know Ben will not be.
Yeah.
okay,
But,
so somebody
but-
won't. That'll be good.
okay,
Uh,
I will just add the meeting.
Thank you. I
Do we
appreciate
want to
that very
talk
much.
about? Oh, sorry. Do we also
Go
want to talk about the annual report?
Yep. So annual report summary will be good. I actually in the steering meeting on Monday, I think I wrote that down as an item to put on the community meeting for next month.
Oh, perfect.
So
Yes. So good call out. We can just do 2 topics even because I don't know how many folks are going to be attending this month.
Right.
But yeah, so that's the updates about the community meeting.
What was the first
The-
topic? I missed it. I'm sorry.
First topic is registry.
the registry change.
Registry stuff. Duh, I knew that.
I'm
there
just gonna say
is-
registry. I don't know what exactly it is.
Yeah. We're changing the image hosting locations that people should point to.
Oh, that email.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Something else to potentially bring up. during KubeCon, we had just the new, so CC would be great to have on there to give a update on the release. Sorry, at KubeCon, the meeting, the sessions weren't recorded just because we had no idea on logistics or anything like that. But there was a very good discussion on reliability and sustainability. And there were a couple of action items that came out of that. So it'd be great to sort of bring some of this up with the broader community. Just for the record here, the 3 action items were to create a report. So this is essentially dev stats that would track kind bug and triage accepted. So things that we recognize are issues that aren't getting handled. So like essentially signal maintainer signal, better code coverage reporting, and then bringing up more formal mentoring and trying to get more groups involved with that. Like I know SIG CLI just kicked something off.
Okay.
But it'd be good to sort of bring this up and rehash those things with the community at large that could not be at KubeCon in person.
Makes sense. I think I would put that one at the end of the meeting, just because we've been talking about it so much at the meeting overall. It's been an important topic. I just want to make sure that we surface the other topics first so that they have plenty of time to talk, since I know reliability and sustainability has been a very, very active topic.
It was sort of, this is sort of an evolution of the actual, like the proposal was discussed, and this is the like some of the things that were brought up to just like as potential AIs for us to help improve it. But yeah, I think it's perfectly fine to just like punt it to the end of the call.
Yeah, I have a feeling the other 2 topics probably will be not quick, but less active in terms of discussion overall. I think it's going to just more be a presentation and a notification, and then off we go. Yeah. So sounds good.
Would that be a good thing to join in, like start off with the annual report and then pop into that? Because I think, it'll probably be a natural lead in.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe registry first, then annual report, then the other, because I don't even know if the registry is even like controversial. It's more of a just an FYI, do this.
Yeah, it's please change this so that we save us money, so we don't run out of cloud credits by the end of the year.
Yeah, so it seems more like a notification. So we'll probably do release lead, registry, annual reports, reliability discussion from KubeCon, and the action items that came out of it.
Yep.
But the registry change, that's not like a breaking like Docker shim thing, right? That's just like, hey, do us a favor.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of reach out to your teams and have them also start moving stuffs.
Yes.
So
okay.
Yes. So
Any other items?
That's my
Sorry.
updates.
Cool.
Sorry.
I was just saying, like, is there anything else for the community meeting?
Nope.
Okay. That brings us to contributor summit planning. One KubeCon's over, the next one begins. Yep.
Heck, it doesn't even wait until it's over.
Yeah.
Right.
No, we had to book the space for the previous one like a month ago. So
yeah. Oh, by the way, we're having the contributor summit retro from Europe on Monday at 7 p.m. European, 10 a.m. Pacific. If anybody wants to be in for that, and that should certainly include anybody who's going to be on the North America team.
Yep. The calendar invite went out before this meeting, and there's a link to the retro in the notes. So
are we gonna keep that slot for the NA planning?
No.
Okay.
It'll have to be definitely pushed back a little bit. The TLDR is like Jeff and myself are going to be leading it, and I have had a permanent conflict with that meeting at that time slot. So Definitely will not be that exact same one. Probably just a little bit later in the day, like 30 minutes.
I've had
Sorry.
I've had a conflict too. I've just been skipping that meeting.
Yeah. Mine's a steering meeting, so I can't really skip that. But yeah, I'm expecting I will probably start setting out the call for volunteers and things like that within the next essentially by the next ContribEx meeting. We are expecting this to be a true return to form. For those that didn't potentially catch, there was like 1,550 CFP submissions, which is roughly 250 more than the last previous highest KubeCon. Other FYI is that 3 of the hotel room boxes are already sold out. And 1 non-room block hotel is sold out. So PS book your hotel now. Or sometime soon.
If you need help like navigating what is a good part and what is a bad part of Detroit, let me know.
Yeah. I'll say like
if you're that worried.
Yeah. Most of the stuff near the convention center you won't have to worry about.
Yeah, like the
like
downtown area is very, very safe.
Yeah.
Wait, you said the submissions are higher than they've ever been for KubeCon? There's not been
second highest ever.
No, it is the highest.
It is the highest. Okay.
It was 250 more submissions than the last highest one.
Wow.
So that plus hotels being sold out, probably going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
With that, again, true return to form. We'll be going back to like what we've done in summits previously, like 2019 and earlier, with more formal CFP tracks and things like that. I do still like unconference. I still think we should do, but we definitely want to have curated content, especially on things with people growing in the maintainer roles. Other big thing is, just as a general reminder, there will be no new contributor workshop during the summit. That has not worked out well for us in the past. It will just be, essentially Kubernetes org members and sponsored attendees. I don't want to use this entire meeting for talking about the summit, but just like sort of setting the stage a little bit for it, before we start kicking off planning and all that. Go.
Yeah. I hear that the new contributor summits haven't worked out in the past. Do we have space for something like a GitHub org walkthrough? Maybe not like a full
that's perfectly fine. Like that's content we want to have. It's just like essentially the audience is people that are already org members,
right?
But people that have some commitment to the project already.
Sure. Okay, so maybe
but I mean that doesn't mean we can't have a side room with just one thing.
Yeah,
talking.
Sure.
Doing
walkthroughs. We'll still be doing not meet our contributors. It's the SIG meet and greet during the event. That's been very successful.
Right.
Josh, I think you were also talking about potentially doing a TLDR version of the contributor summit, not during the summit day.
You mean the new contributor introduction?
Yeah.
People kick that around. It's going to depend on people volunteering to staff it, of course. But yeah, doing the sort of non-interactive or minimally interactive basics for people who are new to the Kubernetes community, possibly on, say, Tuesday afternoon.
I'm just a huge proponent of us doing something that is like maybe not a part of the contributor summit, but something at KubeCon at large to bring in folks that this is my first KubeCon. I don't know what's going on. Like, well, we'd love to have you as part. Like, how do we start that pipeline?
So first KubeCon track.
I have like
That's
the
like
metrics
70%.
on this.
Yeah.
The amount of people that so like the last KubeCon where we did the new contributor workshop, if their dev stats was essentially 0 going into the project, none of them, like 100% accuracy, went on to contribute to the project.
Wow.
I could literally predict with 100% accuracy
Oh.
that stuff. The people that had like, that's why we're doing the new contributor course that people can do like online. And like, I think a TLDR, we can still do a TLDR version, but like, we should not pour the resources that we used to pour into it.
Yeah.
And
that was why I was thinking something that's like maybe an hour and a half.
Yep.
That said, I'd really like to, it's dependent on other people being enthusiastic about carrying this out, because Emily Fox, co-chair of KubeCon, has made noises about drafting me into another thing that would preclude my leading in an activity like that.
Something else that we can keep in our back pockets. I've talked to GitHub about this. We might be able to get essentially GitHub workspaces for workshops and things like that. However, that is still dependent on a few other things. Okay. Any other summit related questions at this point in time?
The one big question, and we'll cover this during the retro also, but I wanted to see if the new team was considering it, is several attendees have wanted us to make the summit longer. Is that at all under consideration for North America?
Paris wants it to go the whole week.
That is not under consideration for NA this year.
Cool.
The hard part is many of us also have vendor commitments. And like we've already had difficulties with it just being one day. The other alternatives to try and push it like earlier in the week, like Sunday, but yeah, I don't know. It's something we can think about more for next year.
I recall we've also discussed having it as a completely separate off-cycle event, sort of a KubeCon original.
The problem is with that one is it's very hard to get people to pay for travel to that. It's easy to tack on a day for KubeCon. It's a lot more difficult for people to toss up money to go to a separate event.
Like, or to put it another way, OpenStack did this with the OpenStack PTGs, and they felt very mixed about how the PTGs had worked out.
Yep. In fact, they told us like steering and the OpenStack TC meet on a regular cadence, and they also advised against it. So I don't think we'll be doing a separate thing, at least a separate large thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other summit related items? Sorry. Okay. Steering election. It's worth it to start thinking about this soon. Josh, is like, have the bugs been worked out with Electo?
Yeah, so what Electo is we've completed the work on making it more secure and transparent, thanks to our intern Vedant. So he's finished his internship and we got all of those things finished. The one thing that did not get finished from the internship was writing database migrations, because part of making it more secure required making some changes to the database schema. So I'm going to have to work with the infra team to handle updating it, which I'm also going to coordinate with creating the folders for the election subproject. Because one of the other things that Electo is fussy about is moving the location of the election data.
One other thing, do we actually care about migrating the current database?
Well, it'd be nice to preserve the history of the elections. And you know, and I have to preserve the history of the elections for the other 2 users. So if I have to write the code, we might as well use it.
Yeah.
I need to write basically a one-time container that will migrate the database, because the other choice is to actually implement moving Electo to Alembic. And I'm not convinced that we will ever make database schema changes again. So it doesn't seem worth it.
Okay. If you also want to like ping Jeef, because he's also done that sort of thing quite a lot.
Okay, I'm willing to ask him. He's real busy right now, though.
Yeah, he's.
What do y'all got Chief doing?
But at least having somebody to review my code would be good, even if he doesn't find any bugs. So
okay.
And because we have to create the election subproject, and then the election subproject needs to make recommendations for the new election committee, which needs to include one of either Noah or Caslin, were you on the election committee last time? It feels like it's been forever. No.
Do you want to be on it?
I've never done that before, so it'd be new.
Okay. Yes, going to say, we need to have one person from the last election committee, and it needs to not be me. So, and I'm trying to remember who the heck the election committee was last time, because it seems like it's been 100 years.
Something else, actually. Dims volunteered to also be on the election committee because he cannot run again.
Okay. That would be awesome. Allison was in the election committee last time. So Noah needs to be in the election committee this time.
Okay.
So, because he'll be the only continuity person. And I need to not be on it because I need to not be on it. The only election committee I was not on was the first one. So
okay.
Yeah. So all of that needs to happen. Be kicking that off in the next couple of weeks as I can put it all together.
Okay. I think that is it regarding steering election updates. There as other election updates, not steering, is steering will be voting on Code of Conduct Committee soon. So there'll be a call for people that want to volunteers for the Code of Conduct Committee going out sometime soon-ish, because I think that starts in July.
Okay. Well, with that timing, once we actually move the election info directory, steering or anyone else with merge privileges on the community repo can create a new election for any purpose.
Cool.
Provided that you're using a preference election.
Okay.
Which is the only thing that Elective does. So.
Cool. Any other election related items at this time? Okay. That takes us to mentoring. Meet our contributors still on hold. New contributor workshop. We kind of talked about that a little bit already. Eric, the 2 tech writers that have been working with us in the past are going to be starting working on that course soon. Group mentoring. I think the only update on this one is the SIG apps and SIG CLI combo one. There's an open issue in K community asking if people are interested in that. But I think that's the only update on the group mentoring thing right now. Deba?
Yeah, so I reached out a few of the graduated ethics mentees to know what was the experience. So some of them asked like if Kubernetes gives some project swags or not, because I remember when I was a mentee with my organization, and it's a common practice with CNCF orgs to provide them some swags for the contribution they do. So I was trying to figure out if there is a pipeline, or like is like we should suggest the mentors to do that thing for the mentees, or how do we work around it?
So for any swag requests, it just goes to the ContribEx leads, and because we have a pool of various codes and things like that available for different items.
Okay, so do I now need to reach out to the leads saying, hey, these are the graduate mentees, and we need some slides?
Yep. So essentially, it's like ping me, ping
Okay.
Christoph, Nikita. We all have access to the same spreadsheet for swag codes.
Oh, cool. I'll ping you today.
Okay.
So,
I think might have actually pinged me too the other day about it.
yeah, so it was regarding our mentee. So we just, Madhav said they will take care of that. But for others, like there are 6 mentees who graduated from Kubernetes this time. So 2 of them reached out like, hey, is there anything available or not? It's like, let me ask.
Yep. Just ping me a like if you want to either open an issue or ping me in Slack and can get you a code.
Yeah, sure.
Or a set of codes.
Yes, sure.
Any other mentoring related items at this time?
I put it in the chat. I wanted to mention that the APAC Meet Our Contributors group, which I'm guessing, have you been involved with them more recently, Deba? They've been joining our meetings and saying that they just finished up a blog post on the China region. I don't know if it's out though or in PR right now, but I thought that might belong here since we mentioned Meet Our Contributors as well.
Okay. So the blog series is, I think Ray is reviewing it, and we will get a placeholder PR by today or tomorrow as soon as the review is over.
Okay. Any other mentoring related items at this time? Okay, community management. I see you have a request for.
Hi, hello. May I please have credentials?
Yeah, just do me a favor, DM me and I'll send creds to you. Like, unfortunately for Zoom root account, it is just one shared password.
Yeah.
We can't have multiple root owners for Zoom. It doesn't do a group.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. One other thing, and this might be a look for LFX thing coming up. More groups are now running into the issue where they can no longer send calendar invites to their mailing list. This has happened with SIG clustered lifecycle. So we will have more groups that will be looking to migrate from the public Google groups to Kubernetes.io managed domains. For some historical context, Christoph wrote a terrible script that he's not proud of, that he basically removed all the tests and forced it through to do the migration for KDev. But we need to actually turn that into something that can be done for other groups. Because it's only going to happen more frequently as far as the calendar invites no longer working. I think we have an issue for it. I have to go back and check. But if not, like need to create one and start actually working on that. That's the update from me. Anyone else have any other community management related things? Zoom and YouTube continue to suck, but
I'm hoping to make it better. We're hoping. Let's see what happens by the next meeting.
yeah. Okay, that takes us to marketing.
Hello. We have a lot of activity going on. We have a good number of members, both who have been coming for a while and a few new ones from our KubeCon tweet efforts mainly. And we're making sure that they're all getting engaged in a variety of different activities, including catching up on the 1.24 feature blog tweets, because we kind of dropped those amidst KubeCon. So there are several feature blogs that haven't been tweeted yet. Working on creating some tweets to promote the annual report in its various sections. There are a number of members who are interested in creating new SIG Spotlight blogs, which we haven't done for a while. So we're working on getting them up to speed on that process. One thing I wanted to ask about was Buffer. Do we have any updates there?
No, honestly, it just kind of fell off the radar with KubeCon.
That's how things go.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
The request is in though.
Do me a favor and just drop a link to
Yeah,
the funding issue in the steering committee channel.
Cool. Steering committee channel. The link to the issue in the steering committee channel. Is that the right way to say this?
Yep, the steering committee channel.
Yes.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Perfect. And then we're also working on some new updated role definitions, as well as some other repo updates, including changing the name of the repo, because we want to change our team name to be primarily contributor comms rather than upstream marketing. We feel that it represents our work better, and is also clearer and more consistent if we have contributor comms everywhere, since that's our @ in Slack. And speaking of Slack, we were interested in creating a new channel for the sub project so that we can more easily communicate amidst our members. I don't know what the process for that is.
That's where things are getting cattywampus, I think, as far as like trying to keep things consistently named. Bob mentioned this in the issue.
Yeah, it's just opening a PR for sub projects. It usually follows SIG name dash sub project. So it'd be like SIG ContribEx comms or something like that.
That works. We haven't. I tagged you in an issue, I think, Caslin. I'll double check.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
I think it should be in our notes. I think we found it in our last meeting.
I'll say if I am pinged in it and I'm not assigned, I just full disclosure, I will not see it.
Need to assign Bob.
Yeah. GitHub notifications are a tire fire.
Yes.
Do we also need to do that for the name change? I need to check on what is actually needed for that PR.
I'm pretty sure there's an open issue, at least an open PR about it.
There is one.
I
don't know what needs to be done on it. I can sync with Chris on that.
No, just a note on the Slack channel creation thing. If it's an issue, assign me to see it. PR, if you're just adding the channel, there really shouldn't be an issue with just opening it up. Like you should be good.
Sounds good. I think that's good for updates. Anything else you want to add, Chris?
I don't think I have anything.
Okay. Moving along.
Okay. Contributor docs. I don't really have any updates here at this point in time, outside of the earlier comment regarding the tech writers will be starting work on the I'm totally brain farting on it right now on the training thing. does anyone else have updates on it?
I have a question.
Shoot.
Because I've been gone for a while and I'm just sort of getting my way back in. Has anybody touched, not the, in the context of the contributor guide, has anybody touched the non-code contributor guide in a while?
I don't believe so. In fact, I think it might have actually been, I think it still exists. Non-code contributions outside of fixing.
If it has just been completely dormant, then perhaps I will pick that back up and run with it.
Okay, go for it. Okay, any other docs related things? Okay. GitHub management. I don't really have any updates here. Arno, are you still on the call? Okay. So that takes us through our main agenda. Debbie, you have something in the open mic discussions?
Yeah, it's regarding the Catacoda thing. Like there are some Catacoda boot camps available for end users. So since Catacoda.com is shutting down, so team has this, issue regarding shifting it to Kubernetes 6 repository. So I don't know how we are going to make it, but like Catacoda has given some relaxation to like they have created a new server for Kubernetes.io website wherein the Catacoda scenarios that's present there will run out. But for this Kubernetes bootcamp scenarios, I don't know. So I was thinking what we could plan about it, or like we just leave it as it is.
Transfer. So to let's see. Transfer.
So initially Ben Hall. Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
So what has to happen is, for it to move into the GitHub organization, it's an issue in KOrg. There's a GitHub transfer request. The owners of Catacoda scenarios will have to transfer it to a temporary repo before we essentially ingest it. Another alternative would basically be to take the contents of it and essentially, like, if transferring is an issue for them, we take the contents of it, add some, like, the things that are needed to it, like the owner's files and the other things, and then just create a new repo. But either way, it's a thing in KOrg to start it.
Yeah, so like we have to figure it out, because we have to again get back to the Catacoda folks, because they are not supporting anything outside of caseless website thing. So if we keep it outside also, it doesn't add any value. Yeah. So yeah, that's also a issue.
So they are only, it's only if it's in K website.
Yes. At present, there was an umbrella issue tracking down what dependency we have in K website, and they came up with this reply that they will support that part.
Sorry, I missed the fact that, like,
Cool. I'll talk with Ray because he received an email from Aurelie regarding it, and also Ben Hall was interested in this thing, like the boot camp, because he was the guy who created it initially. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Either way, I think next steps are K-org.
Yes.
Okay. Something else. Now that we are through, we have 10 minutes left. A couple other general ContribEx things. So we've talked about, trying to grow new leaders and things like that. We want to do this for ContribEx too. First, honestly, the current ContribEx leadership is also really oversubscribed. So we'll want to nominate Josh to come on as another chair to help with things. And in addition to Josh coming on, an email will be going out later this week where we will be looking for essentially shadows for chairs and TLs to, potentially go into that or grow into that role. I'd love to step down.
I'll say specifically, my goal here is to actually make my tenure as chair as short as possible. If you are interested, if you think you might have the time to become ContribEx chair, we'll be putting out that call and trying to get people on board.
Yep. The other thing, while it does seem like it's a lot of work, it's also a lot of work right now because it is, just a few people. We are not necessarily looking to just replace the 2 chairs. We are looking to potentially have more chairs and more TLs. Eventually, this will dovetail into some plans from steering where we plan to have terms. So that way, you essentially only agree to be a chair for a certain period of time. In any case, expect more comms about this more formalized thing soon. Have a Google Doc with the draft comms for it already. It's just I think Christoph was going to send it out later this week. I think that is it as far as all various open items. We have a few minutes left. Does anyone else have other things they want to talk about? Okay, we will call it there and give everyone a few minutes before their next meeting. Oh. Thanks all.
Have a good one.
Later.